All right,
What's
we're
up?
back. How is everyone doing? I mean, we don't have a crowd. How you doing, Mason?
I'm great. How are 15 viewers?
What's up to all
Loving
those
life.
15 viewers? I mean, as long as they're loyal, that's all I care about.
For real, for real.
I mean, we're in a different setting,
Yeah,
but
trying it out.
we're still in the same space, just a
Yeah.
different setting in the podcast space,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is really nice. It just show versatility with this space and whatnot. And this is more
Show
of
what
a,
it's
I mean, it's
capable
Monday
of,
morning, just chill.
Starting the week off.
Sure.
Yeah, we should do one like next week. We'll try it out in like the
lobby.
The lobby. We'll try the studio too, cause
That'd be interesting.
yeah, we're just figuring out our audio in there, but it's so much space. Like we could create a really like nice looking set.
I guess, yeah, definitely. And I guess if you just talk like this, you
Yes.
really won't hear it.
With these mics, you got a very good chance of it sounding good, but
I
it's
think the
pretty
biggest
bad in
issue with the studio is not even the studio itself. It's people like me who have really loud voice that echoes, and just the
Fair.
vibration is just so strong.
That's fair. But even see, that's the thing, because for me, yeah, in this room, even before we had the sound panels, like I didn't have echo, but you did because your voice.
Yeah.
But in there, even I have echo. It's that bad. It's like
yeah.
aggressive. So
I mean,
we're figuring that out.
that's
But-
the beauty of having 12 and a half foot ceilings.
I know, or
right?
it's the downside of this beautiful thing. But
Exactly. Yeah, that downside.
yeah, but luckily, like did that video with Drew, and we were able to get some good audio. Just doing a lot of tricks, like putting
know.
sound curtains around him, having 2 mics.
I think that was having that shoot with Drew this last week was really nice.
It was.
It was nice to really show how much we can do in this space.
Yeah, and bro, that was only 3 sets. Like we can do. I mean, just based off what we've built, you can do like 5 different sets in the studio alone. We used 2 of them, and that's just what we've preset for people. Like you can use that space to create any set with any backdrop, with any idea in mind. So, and then this room has its own like 3-4 sets. Then there's the lobby.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
And the reason why
cool
I really
shoot.
like that was because we went from the last almost 3 years when we would shoot stuff for a client, we would have to either find a space or film somewhere else, or just like go to their space. Whereas
go
now,
to theirs or go outdoors. Like we did a video for Drew. I think it was either last year or the year before, and we did it out in front of Parliament
a year and a half ago. Yeah, exactly.
on
Which,
Wellington.
bro, remember when we first started Lanllo Media, one of our first client, Papale. So we built their website and everything. We did some product photos, and we got to a point where like neither of our houses were nice enough to shoot some content.
We needed some bathroom sets, and neither of us had nice bathrooms.
And we went to Lowe's for that.
Yep.
We went to Lowe's for that, and
the
it's just
display
so
bathrooms.
it's just so crazy on like how much we've progressed, not only as like businessman, but also as just like the space that we have,
and just
right?
like what the business can provide and has access to. Like literally, like a couple times we've rented studio spaces, and it was cool, but not only did it suck that we have to like book it and pay for it and all this extra stuff, but we also didn't really know how to utilize it well. So like there's actually one time we booked the studio for a collab project on that dog food, and like it just didn't really work out.
Yeah,
And that's like
that was a long time
it was
ago.
literally within the first couple of months of the business. We're still using the A6000. This was like early.
That's when we were filming with Nigel,
Yeah.
my little dog, and we had a little storyline and whatnot, and it didn't work out, but at the end of the day, it was still a good experience, and it
was very cool.
nice to look back and now know that we have a space where we can do every project,
and we know how to use it now.
exactly,
Like,
and be
the fact
comfortable in
that,
it. Yeah,
like this space in the position it was like when we did Drew shoot, like we've already figured a lot out in this room. We're beginning to address the echo in the other room, but at that point this space was a lot harder to shoot in than the one we rented, and we're able to create a better product. So it's like you can see that we're learning a lot, and we're figuring out how to work with lighting, with audio, with just how to get the best shot. And it's sick.
exactly. And that's just gonna be another cool factor, is that like having our client come in here and like them feel comfortable, and them just knowing that things are good, and things that like
that they
don't
have everything they need.
Exactly. And they don't also have to think about a space to film their stuff, right?
Yeah.
And like we just, all right, you want to work with us? Yep, you get this space too.
Yeah. No,
And
it's cool to think like, yeah, we can have a client and they can come in and we can do headshots, we can do interview scenes, we can do podcast content, we can do like lifestyle, we can do so many different things.
And we've been really blessed with all the clients that we work with, because like obviously starting off we didn't have the best space, and we didn't have the best like equipment and whatnot, and like these still gave us a chance, and they were never like judgmental on like, okay, yo, are these guys even the real deal? Because they don't even have a space, they don't even have like all, like we had great equipment but obviously not the best of the best.
Yeah.
But it was just really nice that all of the clients that we've worked with in the past have really given us a chance, and it's amazing.
Early on, they really took a chance on us, and it's sick.
And it's just nice now that we can invite some of those clients back into here, and really show them like, hey, listen, it's because of your support and because you've trusted us. Now we have this space, because we wouldn't be where we are right now without all the clients that we've worked with.
Of course, like literally. And yeah, like you said, like there was genuinely at the earlier stages of our business, like I don't think I would have hired us, because there's just no proof. There's no, we didn't have a big catalog of videos. Like really people just took a chance on us. And for the most part, I think we delivered even back then. But for the clients that stuck with us, like we grew with them, and we always tried to show them our appreciation, and you know,
that's one thing too, is like even the clients that we've worked way back in the past, and we haven't worked with them in a while, we still connect with them, we still chat with them. Like even like last week we had Steve come on here, you know, and like we've worked with Steve from the very beginning, before we even had Lanllo Media.
Literally,
this is when you were just this is back when you were just doing your freelancing photography. And I connected you guys, and we were shooting some product photos in your basement,
you know,
and then now we invited him here, and it was so nice for him to be here and really see the progress of the business.
Bro, I gotta tell you, so that shoot, this was pre-Lanllo Media. This is when I was doing my product photos. The equipment I used on that shoot was so wild. So first of all, not many people will know this camera, but I was using the Canon M100.
I remember the camera,
a little travel camera. It's like not made for business, product photography, whatever, like productions, but it did the trick. But literally the light I used, I'm telling the truth here, was a lamp.
I remember
taped to a tripod, with a cardboard box taped to that, with tinfoil inside the cardboard box to act as a kind of reflector, like kind of push it in. Oh, and then literally I taped parchment paper to the front of the cardboard box to be the diffuser. Literally, that's what I was using.
Bro, oh man, if I could find that photo, because I remember I had taken some photos.
I have it somewhere.
You have those photos?
It to me, yeah.
No, like behind the scene of like the entire setup.
In my basement with the white box and everything.
Yes,
yeah, I have that.
You have photos like behind the scene? Okay, because I remember I was taking those photos because I was really proud of you. It's like, yo, this is sick. And like, I felt nice because like, I thought that like I was connecting Steve with someone that was like the real deal, you know? And like, this is when I didn't even know like what being a real deal was, you know? But I just saw that like, hey, yo, this guy has a setup. He knows what he's doing, you know? This all looks like really amazing and well set up. And I was just like really happy that I was like connecting you guys. And it's just so crazy. I was
very appreciative too. It was huge. Like, because I had been doing a couple Amazon product listings, but I don't know, there's something about it, just like knowing the person, like it was a lot more photos than I had done for a single product, and it was just cool.
And he was there too, and he was there. Well, he was there, and I remember we came over, and while you were taking the photos and whatnot,
and we did some videos of like him using it like over his shoulder, and I remember like and it worked out.
It's like, so funny, bro. Like the amount of videos we have on Amazon right now.
I know, like
photos, videos, and whatnot.
You never think to like go look or see them, but it's so true. We have many just all over the place.
And honestly, like being in this industry, what I really like about it most is when we connect with the clients that we have, because when we work with clients, it's not transactional. It's more of a relationship. We work together. It's like a partnership, right? It's not a transactional thing.
That's how I look at it too. I'm not selling you something. Like we're working out a solution. Like you have something you want to figure out, a solution you need. We have it, but we need you to get to it. Like it's this collaboration. It's not like, hey, I'm gonna make you this thing. You can buy it from me. Here you go, buy. It's very much like, how's that going? Are you getting the results? Okay, well, let's try this. Let's work on this. Like it's very, collaborative.
Exactly. And I think that's one great way to really keep customers happy and our clients happy, is that making them understand that they're not just buying a service, but they're investing into a service. Yeah. Right. And like they can expect a return of investment of the money that they're putting in.
Exactly. A better way to put that is, they're not buying a service, they're buying a solution. So it's like, we'll try whatever it needs to be, or try a couple times and whatever to get that solution, to get the end results. But you're not buying a video, you're buying the results you asked for. And
exactly.
we'll find that way.
Exactly. Like, you're not even buying, you're investing too, right?
No,
like you're investing because you
get that return.
Exactly.
That's what we deliver, is that return. And so, that's what we do. And that's what I think business owners need. Cause like, I mean, we know, man, we've been in this 3 years, and it's still like, it's hard for us to just drop a bunch of money on something. Like we want to do it ourselves or find a more affordable way. So we understand that, like, we don't expect companies to just shell out thousands of dollars and like not care how it turns out, you know, like we get that.
And and another thing too is like also how like we interact with them plays a big role, right? The fact that like we check up on them even after the project has already been delivered and whatnot, just check up on them, see how things are going, or if there's anything else that we can offer. And I think that's one great way to not only create a robust relationship with your clients, but also to get more clients in the future, because your next client could be the client that you've already worked with, right? Because a lot of that, or
their friend,
exactly, referral. And exactly. And that's what I was going to get to, is that sometimes, and we've been in this position where we were so caught up on trying to look for a new client, and like we've spending so much time where we weren't looking in front of us, right? We were looking so far ahead of like, okay, how we're going to get the next client. But then we didn't realize that our old clients may still need some work to be done from us,
it's completely
right?
True.
Just because we've finished a project doesn't mean that there's no reoccurring project that they need us to do. Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's very true. And speaking of that, like one of our longest term clients, Enfort, that's a perfect example of everything we've been talking about, because they were actually one of our first.
That was a really funny, interesting.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
But literally, like, in terms of a serious client that came to us for a project, I think he might be our first. Like, we had a couple product photos, a couple Amazon things, but this was like
established business. But he was also, Enfort was also just starting.
It wasn't even open. Yeah.
It wasn't even open
when he reached out to us. But yeah, so that's definitely, by far one of my favorite clients we've worked with.
Same.
So he's someone who I used to know. I worked at a gym in the past. He was a personal trainer there, so I just knew him through that.
Enfort is the business. The owner is Warren.
Correct.
Yeah, yes. I don't want people thinking the person's name is Enfort.
No, Warren. Business is Enfort that he started. It's a gym in.
Is it Enfort or Enfort?
I think it's Enfort.
Okay.
Enfort. It's French.
Okay. That's why I heard that.
It means it's part of his like family crest, and it means like suffer bravely or something along those lines. It's quite cool.
That's
I like
amazing.
it a lot.
I like that. And running a business takes a lot of courage and a lot of bravery.
And so does like being an athlete and training for your whole life and all these things. So it's quite cool. It's a really good name, genuinely. But so literally we worked at a gym, or I worked at like reception and cleaning the place. He was a personal trainer there. Then during COVID, the gym shut down. So then around the same time me and you were starting Lanllo, I started posting a couple stories about the projects we were doing. He just DMs me like, yo, I'm opening a gym. Do you want to come do some content?
And you know what's so funny is that not that I forced you, but I influenced you to really post a story, because you didn't want to post a story. And this is how like crazy marketing can get, is because you weren't even planning on like I don't know if it was just sharing or posting a story. You weren't really feeling it, but I told you just do it. Yeah. And then and then he saw that story, and then he replied to you and asked us to come in and do some marketing and videos for him.
It's
because
true.
He was literally about to just go on Google and look for videographers near me.
Yep. And then he's like, yo, but I know you, so why not? And then literally, yeah, like, but yeah, first of all, with the story thing, like, I was falling into that classic trap of like, oh, it's not ready yet. You know, we're not good enough yet. This, that, whatever. But that's just a perfect example of like, just do it. Like, just start, just post it, just do it. It will get better. You're probably nowhere near as good as you want to be, but like, it's not going to just ruin everything. It's not going to mess up your reputation. Like, if
anything, people will appreciate it and really see that where you're starting from,
like
right?
seeing the process.
Because
like,
a lot of people want to get to level 10 when they haven't even started level 1, right?
Yeah.
And that's what stops them from doing it, from even starting, is because they know that they won't be as good as where they would be, where they want to be. But like, the only way to get to where you want to be is by just starting right now. And it sucks, so and it may
hard,
not be the best.
It's scary, it's all those things. And you know, throughout your life there may be times where you do that and then just give up on it and it was for nothing. But you can't,
I mean, it's never really for nothing, because at the end of the day you have learned something, right? Whether that's something that, okay, that didn't work out for me, that's a learning experience. You know,
that's
just knowing
I'm
that
not really interested
exactly.
in. Like, no, it's so true. But yeah, so I posted it, you convinced me to, and then he replied, we started talking, and literally from then for the next like 2 years, we were just there every week or two making content. We were working on his website with him, like doing all the edits, filming all the content and photos for that. Like we fully just made all of his content for like 2 years off one story.
Yeah. And you know what I love about that though, is that throughout that process and like us going in and whatnot, he was able to understand on how like the social media game worked.
No,
and
that's
now he knew how to like kind of start filming stuff, and just like even the little things, you know, and like things that he might not think is important, but just like filming them and just posting them on social media is a form of marketing. And now he's doing it all himself.
It's true.
And
it's
everything
so
that
cool
he's putting out is amazing, bro.
I love it, bro. He's killing it. He's so good. Like,
I know.
Yeah, he's literally, it's amazing to see, actually. Like, the more I think about it, like, we were able to just like show him kind of our formula, how we do things, why we do things. And from that, he's fully been able to just do it himself.
He just adapted to that. Exactly.
It's amazing. Like, that's really cool to me that we've helped him get to that point that now he knows what he's doing. He's seen what we've done, and he's like, he's taking it into his own hands. Like, that's so dope to me. Like, that's really, really cool. But just proof, man.
I know.
Post what you're doing and show people. Like, the only thing that, like, whether you're like, if you just like photography or whatever it is, it could be art, it could be interior design, whatever. Like, the only difference between it being a hobby and something you do as a job or as a freelancer or whatever is just telling people you do it. That's the only difference. If you just say, I'm a photographer, it's really hard to do at first. Like, it's really like abstract to think, am I a photographer now? Like, when does that click in? But that's the only difference. And if you are just proud of it and say it and
just
put
identify
it out there,
as that,
exactly, like, stuff will come 1,000%. And like,
because the thing is, like, if you don't even identify as a photographer, how are other people gonna identify you as a photographer?
Like, you can't expect like
you can't expect people to call me as a businessman if I don't even call myself as a businessman or an
and you
entrepreneur.
don't tell anyone, you don't show anything you're doing. Like, all that everyone knows is you have your little part-time job on the side. It's like, it's like, that's who you are and that's what you do. But it's hard, especially in a creative field, to say I am this, because then, you know, you're thinking everyone's gonna go look at your page. Oh, like, really?
It's intimidating.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's intimidating in a sense that, like, you know, that people that are photographers that have been doing it for years and years are gonna look at you and say, like, you know, you're not a photographer. But at the same time, nobody really thinks that way.
Nobody's doing
Only
that.
you are thinking
from the
that.
outside. It looks intimidating, but especially, like, we're talking about photography and stuff because that's kind of where we're in, but this applies to anything of creativity or entrepreneurial stuff. But like it looks intimidating from the outside, but when you're in it, like, people are very supportive. People want to help you.
Nobody's gonna tell
you to grow and learn and get better. And like, it's not worth overthinking it and hiding it and thinking you're not good enough. And if that's the thought going through your head, then say in your bio, you know, just learning. Yeah. Like
aspiring photographer,
improving every day. If you're trying to get clients, like just charge low. Like I'm not a huge fan, like, of free projects. It just depends. There's we've done it.
So we don't really do it as like a free project. We do it as a collaboration.
Where it makes sense for both of us.
Exactly.
And we have a bit more control over the project. And exactly. It's not free. It's a collaboration. It's different.
Exactly. It's in a collaboration because not only are they benefiting from the project, the creative that you're creating, but you're also benefiting from it through experience as well as building your portfolio.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, network, right? The network that you can reach from just creating a project. Sometimes people are just so afraid of just even reaching out and doing a collaboration just because, I'm not getting paid, but you know, like everybody's got to start somewhere, right? Like you can't expect to be making $30,000 a month when you haven't even made $100 a month yet, right? And like you can't let that idea discourage you because you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you really have to think those things through and say, this is what I want to do, because it's very common that if someone will reach out, hey, this is the project we want to do. Like, we don't really have a budget for it, but we have a huge following. We'll post you and tag you. Like, that doesn't mean, okay, sure, I guess I'll do it. Like, you have to really say, this is a project I want on my portfolio. This is the type of video I want to be making. Like, it really has to make sense to you. That's not like worth just giving up your pay for it, you know? Because that's so classic that someone will reach out and try to offer, like,
and I
have a huge network of business owners. Like, I'll spread your name, and I promise you, if they're coming to you with that, I can almost guarantee nothing comes of it. It's not a selling point from their side. Like, you have to decide that's what you want.
And and especially when that's the first thing that they say to you. You want to collaborate. They don't even introduce themselves or like befriend you in any way. It's more of just like straight transaction.
That's not a That's not a collaboration. That's a transaction that they're just getting a free video from. And you're hoping.
And they don't care about you. They just care about the thing that you can do for them, right?
Exactly.
And then who's to say that they're actually going to push forward, right?
If that's the situation, I can almost guarantee they won't. And if they do, maybe like one project out of it.
Yeah, but I mean, we've got into a point where we were doing collaboration projects, and now it's not that it's not, we wouldn't do it again, but it's just we're so busy, and that's not in our top priority because
it's not in our top
because
priority.
we're blessed to have like great clients and and whatnot, and like through network. And going back to what we're talking about, like I know you mentioned like that was your favorite working with Enfort. That was also one of my favorite because not only was it that was a new space and it was sick and it's one of a kind gym here in Ottawa, but we were also into like working out, right? We loved working out back in the day, and then
it was
and Warren was a really cool guy to work with, right? And so that's why I really loved about that. But for me, one of my favorite clients that we've worked with was actually a company, Laudable. And one thing I really like about that was we drove out all the way to Quebec. We visited a facility the facility that they work.
Print warehouse.
Exactly.
We got gigantic. We're flying the drone inside the warehouse.
Yeah, we got a tour of the place, and like it was just so cool to just see that. And I think also what was crazy about that was that the business owners gave us full creativity, right? They just trusted our process, they trusted our vision, and it was really nice because we were able to actually just put everything that we wanted out there, right? And it worked out well.
There was so much, that we had control over, not only all the content, but at the same time we were making their website. So all this content was for their website.
Exactly,
so
and it was a good flow.
So literally, we planned our content around how we want the website to flow. Like how we want them to come through the site is, okay, with that photo, then a video, then this, then
and
that.
And that was the biggest thing that I really liked about that is the trust that we were given. And it plays a big factor.
And there's a good reason why we were given that trust.
Yeah, of course.
Laudable is my parents' company.
Yeah.
And this was you'd think, given that information, that was like one of our first projects. Like they're just like, oh yeah, we'll hire you, but it actually wasn't. This was over after our 2-year mark. 2 years.
Exactly.
We were doing it, so that was they needed a website. They were looking around for quotes, and we decided to work with them, it was a lot of fun.
And it was a lot of fun. And I think
one of my favorite parts of that was, so we drove out, the warehouse was out past Montreal.
Yeah.
we did the shoot. It was super long, you know, we're tired, we're hungry. On the way home, we stop in Montreal and go look at watches.
Oh
and
yeah,
start, like watch shopping.
Exactly. But it was so funny is because we couldn't even go to some of these watch shop because like they were closed.
Yeah,
They were closed.
it was
We
like
need to go
COVID-ish, and
we
they were
need
like
to go there
appointment
again.
only. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Last time I went to Montreal, they had some stores that
Really?
had like really nice watches like APs, Rolex. I show you a picture of it.
That's what we were trying to look.
Yeah, I showed you a picture, bro, and it was
you
downtown.
showed me some Grand Seikos that were
Yeah.
so nice, bro. Oh my god,
Bro, oh my goodness, I could geek out on watches. We should have an episode just talk about watches
That'd be
and
sick.
why time. Bro, you know what's so funny? I mean, this is speaking of watches and business. You know, a lot of people, in business, like the reason why they spend so much money on watches because it's a statement piece, right? For example, if like you're wearing a one of a kind watch, if you know,
Yeah.
right? You're impressing the right people.
Yeah.
And then like usually if you're wearing like a crazy watch, the people that know about it are people that are either like watch enthusiasts or people that can also afford that watch.
Yeah.
Right. And then so
No,
it's
true.
an instant connection, right? It's
It
like
fully is. I've literally
an
I've been
icebreaker.
at parties and started conversations over a nice watch. Like some guy
Yes.
was wearing a Omega, and I'm like, oh, is that Omega? And then he was just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, my dad gave it to me, this, that, whatever. And like it was this whole thing that we just got into a conversation.
Yeah, it's the best icebreaker in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you're into watches,
Or
right?
like,
Because there's always a
yeah,
history
it's
around
a perfect
it.
example of an icebreaker, like in that if those are the type of people you want to meet. And then a similar one that you mention a lot is like, you know, business owners or accountants or whatever joining country clubs, because you know there's all these wealthy people, usually business owners there. It's the same
It's
concept.
networking, yeah.
It's just a way to start conversations with the people you want to be meeting.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you know, there's lots of ways
It's an
to do that.
investment for some people, right?
If you walk around every day with your camera around your neck, same thing. You're looking for photographers. People be, oh, is that the FX3? Damn, when'd you get that? Like, oh, I love the rig. Like, what
Yeah.
lens you got on there? Like, all this. So it's the same thing, and it's great. I love watches, bro.
I know, me too, bro. And I can't wait to visit another store with you and just
Yeah.
look at those watches. But yeah, man, like it's gonna be nice to one day have a nice watch and just like
Yeah.
go to events and just like see other people with nice watches and like connect with them through that. And
For
because I
real.
know a lot of business can go through that, right? I mean, like
Yeah.
people are just like, oh, is like usually a conversation kind of just like leads on to something better.
Oh, absolutely.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's all it is. It's just a way to get your foot in the door. Like, just start the conversation. And then once the watch topics kind of running out, and so what do? Oh, that's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And just the conversation flows from there.
And it's only select few there's only select few of people that are really into watches, right? And you also, and one thing I like about watches is that it's not just you can have a nice watch, but sometimes when you have a watch that's like a very specific watch and then the other person know about it, it's just more of a connection, you know?
Yeah.
You don't just say, oh, is that a nice Rolex?
It doesn't always have to
Yeah.
be a Rolex. Exactly.
Exactly.
Like Grand Seiko, that's one where
That's one, yeah.
in the past, before I knew about watches, I would have thought, oh, nice, like a Seiko, cool, like a couple $100, nice, like that looks cool, but it's a whole different world. Like, it's really cool. I love it. Actually, yeah, a client we work with, Jeff Walker, I remember showing up to a shoot one day and he had a Rolex on. It was so nice. And he's just telling me the whole story of when he bought it. He bought it with his wife on their honeymoon, or his wife bought it for him, I think, as a gift. And it's really cool.
And that's one thing I like about watches is that there's a story in every watch.
Yeah.
There's a story.
true.
There's a story in every watch. Like, for example, this watch right now, I'm just wearing a Casio G-Shock. But the reason why I bought this as a gift for myself on my 25th birthday.
Along with the Tissot, right?
And I got a Tissot,
Yeah.
because,
That's the real gift.
This was
so that you don't have to beat up the Tissot.
Yeah, exactly. But no, the reason why I wanted this was because I wanted something like super light and also kind of just like rugged and can just go with anything.
Yeah.
And also because my first nice watch was also a G-Shock back in 7th grade.
Same, actually.
I bought it at Winners.
Those big fat ones.
Yeah, my dad bought it for me at Winners. It was like $135, and to this day, It's still running.
Oh, like no battery change.
No battery change. It's still running, bro.
Wow.
And that's why Casio is a top
They're
tier, god tier, bro.
God tier,
God
man,
tier.
for real. No,
God
they really
tier,
are.
bro.
Yeah, I got a couple Casios.
I know you have a
always.
lot of watches yourself, and
Yeah.
I'm nowhere as where you are in terms of how many watches I have, but I want to slowly build.
But you
my
do. You
collection.
got the PRX. You got the top of line for us right now. So it's cool, man.
Yeah.
I love that watch.
Mm-hmm.
The PRX is so nice.
I know, and man, I would love to work for a watch company.
That would be so.
No,
nice.
not work for a watch company,
Like
but
make
work with
content.
a watch.
Yeah,
exactly, bro. Because like, if you see Rolex's like Instagram, the photos that they have, even on their website, is just impeccable.
I
man.
know.
It's just the quality.
We could get creative.
I don't even know. Like sometimes I just look at them and like I don't even think that's a photo. I think that's just CGI, bro.
There's definitely elements at some point, but at that level, you know, they're probably using medium format cameras, which they're like.
I mean, their budget is
resolution on that
unlimited.
Is insane.
Their budget is unlimited. But yeah.
Yeah, we know some people in Ottawa with medium format, and like when I'm looking at their Instagrams, it's
crazy.
mind blowing. Like,
well, one question for you before we kind of wrap this up. What would your dream client be? Who would your dream client be? Anything, unlimited, whether that's a car company, a watch company, a clothing brand,
damn,
a tech company. What would yours be?
That's very, very interesting. Because my favorite style of video is similar to what we did with Drew, like interview in studio. I really like that. And then I really like telling a story of a business. Like, I'm not a movie maker where I can make up a story and tell that. I like to hear somebody's story and put that into a video format. And so it's interesting, like the industry or what it is doesn't actually matter that much. It's more just about what's the style of video. So like just a kind of a nice little.
So it would be like not a product.
It could be a product, but it would be more about
the history,
the designer or the owner of the business and their story and why they made it, and you know, those things. Or if it's a car, same thing. Or if it's a restaurant, same thing. Like just a story about the owner and why they did it.
So you like the storytelling.
I like
aspect.
the storytelling.
Okay.
So the product doesn't actually matter. I think just in my mind, a watch would be cool because I can picture it in my head right now, like the person talking, cuts to like the watch ticking, tick, tick. You hear the audio, tick, tick, tick. Then it goes back and like, you know, it talks about the timeline of it, and it goes back to the watch and like just showing the details and light hitting it, and like this click back and forth between this really cool interview scene and the watch, and could frame them similarly on same backgrounds. Like I can picture that. So I think like a story of a watchmaker sounds like the coolest thing.
Yeah.
It's a very unique video. What about you?
Like for me, I'm leaning more towards the product company.
Yeah, you like product.
Whether that's like it would definitely be a watch. I think like similar with you, just talking about the history of the watch and just like capturing every movement. And imagine like a video where like you have the best camera in the world, you have unlimited budget, and like you could literally just like take a video of them creating the movement.
I was
gears
just about
by
to say
gears
that
and
for
like
a
the
second.
spring, and the next thing you know, just rotating, and then them just putting on the sapphire crystal on the thing, bro. And like that'd be so amazing to just work on that. And the thing is, when you work with clients like that, with a company like that, there's no like, the timeline isn't like, okay, you guys, I need this in 3 days.
Yes.
You literally have like 2 to 3 or 4 months to create one like 20-second video to make it perfect. And like that would be amazing. And having like pretty much unlimited budget. Yeah. I think working with like a watch company, whether that's, I don't know, Richard Mille would be a good one too, just because every watch is one.
So complicated.
And it's one of a kind. Most of their watches is one of a kind, like Rolex, Omega. Yeah. I think a watch company would be pretty cool, you know, and just that going to the history of it and why is the way they are. And
I was actually about to say a slight change to mine would be like the story of like a watch repair shop, like because I can just picture the interview scene in this dark, like cool thing with all the equipment behind him, then these close-ups of like polishing it and all these
we did a little bit of video,
something similar of a jewelry maker.
Yeah, we did that, and that was pretty cool. Yeah, and like just getting close-up shot. But yeah, no, I really like that, and like close-up stuff. But yeah, no, that's
Okay, one more.
yeah.
Rapid fire. Your top 3 projects we've done, and not like clients, not what they did, but like the video we created or the photos we created or the website, whatever it is. Top 3, or let's go one for one. My first one, I want to steal this before you say it, is Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc, that was pretty cool.
I loved that video.
That one was pretty cool. Funny enough, mine would probably be. We did some photo shoot with a homie, for a homie. Is that for Josie's product? I really like that. The photos turned out really well. You and I got really creative, and like again, I'm going back to like the product photography.
You like it.
But it was just so nice because we bought props, we bought rocks, we bought spray bottle to make it seem like it was moist and rainy, and it was really nice. Remember the rock, and we were moving it
water
exactly to get the ripple effect. Yeah, I think
really started getting creative there.
And it was just me and you just doing our thing. It was
a lot of fun. Yeah. That was a very cool project.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah,
it was the reason why I would say that is because we really collaborated really well on that project.
It was just fun, like going out to buy the props and put it together, and
just coming out with cool ideas unique,
and And honestly, my second that I'd say is Drew's stuff.
Oh yeah, that's
I really
that's a good one, and I think a big part about that is because like we did it in our space too.
The first big project here, and it was really cool to just use the different spaces with all our audio and our camera and our lighting, and like we literally used every piece of equipment we own, and like it was really cool. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, even also having like a bit of a crowd.
Yeah, while I was doing he had his team with him.
Exactly.
We could hold them in the space comfortably. Like anywhere we've worked before, that would be terrible.
And it wasn't exactly. Yeah, I would say the same. Same. But there's so much.
I know it's hard to picture.
And that was like literally like a rapid, like that was a pop quiz.
I know. My third, I'll quickly say, is I think chirality drones.
The drones, yeah, that was pretty fun too.
Very cool project.
I think the best part about that is like seeing a drone that big. I wasn't expecting it to be that big. It was like a big wow factor. The drone was literally probably the size of this sofa.
Yeah, like width-wise, yeah. So it had 8 arms, 8 like propellers. Yeah. The propeller itself was bigger than our whole drone, which had 4 propellers.
Bro, the propellers were like the size of my arm.
It was insane.
Yes, bro. It was the size of my arm because it could carry up to like 20 pounds and stuff.
I think more.
I think 35, somewhere around that. And I think they're increasing it.
Yeah.
They're getting better drones. But I hope they're doing well. We need to check up on them and see how they're doing, because I know they were doing. Summer is coming around the corner, and golf season.
And I think I remember seeing they do stuff like they've been working beyond the golf course, like doing other like expanding a bit.
Okay, that's cool. That should be interesting.
It seems like they're doing well.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you for that question. I didn't answer all of it. I answered 1 out of the 3. I really can't really think about.
It's hard.
It's really hard. It's really hard because now I have to remember all of the projects that we've done, and now I have to list them.
Pick my favorite ones. It's challenging.
That's a challenging one. I forgot what I said. I forgot what my answer was.
The Josie's.
Oh yes.
Products.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's number 1, but I just knew that was really fun.
It was really, really fun. Yeah, that was a great project. Beauty.
Yeah. Well, that's a wrap for episode 6. No, 7. Yeah.
7.
So yeah.